right, everybody,
Hi,
welcome to Standing
Roger.
Room Only. Welcome to Hooligans Underground, where we stand and laugh
Yay!
and argue sometimes, but mostly stand and laugh. All right, I'm gonna start us off with a couple of Cajun things. You might be a Cajun if you know those kind of things. So
Oh,
we're gonna start it right here. You
oh
might be a
my.
Cajun if you start an angel food cake with roux, with a roux.
Okay.
You might be a
Mm-hmm.
Cajun if while watching The Wild Kingdom, you get inspired to write a cookbook. You might be Cajun if you think the head of the United Nations is Boudreaux Guillory. I don't get
Boudreaux!
that one.
Our boy Boudreaux!
You might be a Cajun if you think a lobster is a crawfish on steroids.
Big steroids, the big ones.
You might be a
Yeah.
Cajun if you think Groundhog Day and Boucherie Day are the same holiday.
I don't get that one, but I
Yeah,
laugh at
I
bourgeois.
don't get it either.
it.
You might be a Cajun if you take a bite of 5-a-long Texas chili and then reach for the Tabasco sauce. You might be a
That's
Cajun
excellent.
if Fred's Lounge and Mamu means more to you than a grand ole offering.
Oh
Right.
Lord,
Apparently there's a
Mamu,
Fred's Lounge in Mamu. I
Mamu,
don't know where the hell Mamu is, but
Mamu, Mamu.
Mamu's your grandma.
Mamu.
It's
And you might
that's
be
your
a Cajun if you pass up a trip abroad to go to the Crawfish Festival down at Bro Bridge. And you may be a Cajun if your children's favorite bedtime story begins like this. First, you'll make the roux. All right. And you might be a Cajun if your description of a gourmet dinner includes the words deep fried.
That's too
That's
true.
also in New England too.
Yeah? Y'all like deep fried stuff. I thought y'all like everything steamed up there.
Well, both. But
Both,
there's a
okay.
lot of deep fryers up here. Yeah?
And you might be a Cajun if your mama announces each morning, well, I got the rice cooking. What we gonna have for dinner? Because we eat rice every morning. And you might be a Cajun if you greet your long lost friend at the Lafayette International Airport with "Aye."
I never heard that. Okay.
Yeah, "Aye." That's how Cajuns go. Like instead of Yahoo, it's "Aye."
Hey.
Really? Never heard that. That's cool.
You might be a Cajun if you sit down to eat boiled crawfish and your host say, "Don't eat the dead ones," and you know exactly what he means.
Oh, hi, Happy. So good to see you.
Because you know they all dead.
I get you
But
know
Yeah.
you don't eat the dead ones.
knows that one.
They all dead.
And you eat the first dead one and you know it immediately.
Hey, fuck it.
All right. You might be a Cajun if you don't know the real names of your friends, only their nicknames. Yeah, that's probably
Like
everybody.
Billy Bob and Bobby Sue and
Pierre and Caillou.
oh, okay.
I can name a
Yeah,
bunch,
the
but I
French
ain't.
Cajun.
All right, you might be Cajun if you know the difference between Zatarans, Zarang, and Zydeco.
Oh God, Lord
I
have
don't know the difference of any.
I don't
Lord.
know none of those differences.
I reckon I'll fail that one.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all.
Yeah.
Zatarans is crawfish boil, crab boil, seafood boil. It's a seasoning.
Awesome.
Zarang, that's just a name. It's like a Boudreaux or a Thibodeau.
Is the
Zarang.
third one music?
And the third one, Zydeco, is Cajun music. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I knew
That's where they
that.
be
I
scraping
got
the
the last
washboard on their
sound is
chest and,
musical.
and, and foot kicking and fiddling and aye, just like that. I got a couple more. You might be a Cajun if your dog thinks the bed of your pickup truck is his kennel. And you might be a Cajun if you think the four seasons are duck, rabbit, deer, and squirrel.
Oh, I love that
That's
one.
a good one.
Ah, Lord.
All right. Now I'm just going to shift gears and do one short one before somebody else jumps up here. Now, the other morning, Marie walked into the kitchen and she saw Boudreaux sitting there with a fly swatter. Now she looked over and she said, "Any luck?" Now Boudreaux said, "Yeah, 3 males, 2 females." Now Marie was stunned. Miss Cher, how can you tell them apart? Boudreaux said, that's easy. 3 of them are on the beer can and 2 of them are hanging out by the telephone. All right, open mic. Who's up? Who wants to come up here?
The Lord have mercy.
I will.
I'll make room.
There you go.
Yay,
Please.
Gleesa.
Yay.
All right, big warm welcome for Gleesa.
Okay. First, this lovely coat Marilyn over there bought for me, but I just wanted to keep it on so that I could do.
Y'all, she's
What?
taking off her clothes.
Yes, what
Wait,
the
what?
hell was I thinking? This is part of the wardrobe.
Okay,
Now,
shit.
I
Raising
have
attention
no
now.
clue
Hell?
why they ruined a really perfectly good pair of crop pants. It's like I have pants in here in my own personal wardrobe that by mistake because they were yoga pants, and unfortunately I should be doing more yoga because I blew out the sides of my pants too. But anyway, I just I questioned this look. So out of the inventory of what the hell was I thinking comes this outfit. I know.
Just like it is.
And my mom had a habit of mixing her words. Like when she was mad, she'd call every name in the book, all my sisters' names, even the cat's name, before she'd get to my name.
Yep.
So I would
Yep.
do whatever it was that she was mad at, so she finally got the right name. But she mixed up. She did. She mixed up words so bad. She sent my dad to the store to get a dozen eggs and a flack of sour. So he gets there and
A flack of sour.
a flack of
Okay,
sour.
this is gonna
He
get
got-
dirty, isn't it?
Yeah. So he comes home and he goes, "Yep." She goes, "Well, where's the sack of flour?" And he goes, "You didn't ask for a sack of flour." She goes, "I did too. I said a dozen eggs and a sack of flour." He said, "You said a dozen eggs and a flack of sour." And I looked all over that store and there was no flack of sour in it. And he wasn't about to go back. I think he was mad he had to go to the store in the first place. But
Oh, her parents were awesome. They used to, I love them.
did you hear about the man who got brought in by fashion police?
By what?
No.
Now they had to question him about his criminal ties.
Criminal ties.
And I've decided, I'm only going to wear clothes made out of paper. My fashion sense is terrible.
Okay.
Paper dresses of the 60s.
Yeah. And what do you call a bigoted fashion designer?
What do you call?
He's close-minded.
Oh, yeah.
Got it.
And why did the mechanic have a disappointing fashion show?
Oh, full
There was
of-
no time to change a tire. And what are the cheapest fashions?
What?
Freestyle. And you all know what a catwalk is, on the catwalk.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear about the murder on the catwalk?
No.
No.
A model was killed in a bizarre fashion.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, good one.
And why did the hoodie smell like weed?
Oh.
It was high fashion.
High fashion.
And what do you call a fashionable lawn statue that has an excellent sense of rhythm? A metronome.
Oh, that's
And my favorite, actually, this is a bit colorful, what I have on, because my favorite way to dress is all in black. My sense of fashion is second to none. And where do fashionable ghosts get their clothes? At the boutique.
Nasty girl.
okay.
Oh, nasty girl.
And why can't fashion designers play Uno?
Why?
Because they always draw a cardigan.
Yeah.
And so this is my last joke. A wife asks her husband, "Could you go shopping for me and buy 1 carton of milk? And if they have avocados, get 6." So the husband returns home with 6 cartons of milk. And the wife goes, "Why did you buy 6 cartons of milk?" And the husband says, "They had avocados."
Mm.
I thought it was going to be dirty.
All right, big hand for Gleesa.
Yeah.
I gotta put my coat back on.
You like that coat, don't you? Don't
I
you like
do.
that coat? You like that coat, girl?
I do like that coat.
All right, y'all.
It is a nice coat.
Boudreaux and Thibodeau were down fishing on the bayou one morning when
Uh-oh.
Boudreaux realized he bought him a nice cigar that morning, but forgot to get the matches. So he asked Thibodeau if he has a lighter. Now Thibodeau hands him a big old lighter, where Boudreaux said, "Thibodeau, that's the finest damn light I ever done seen for sure. Where the hell you got such a fancy lighter like that?" The big old lighter, y'all. Thibodeau said, "Well, let me done told you. Just yesterday, I was fishing right here in this very spot, and I found an oil lamp floating in the bayou. Now I got that lamp and I rubbed it real good, and a genie popped right out. And that's how I got this lighter." Now Boudreaux thinking to himself, "Well, that's the damnedest story I ever did hear for sure now." So right about then, Boudreaux sees a lamp floating in the bayou. So he grabs it, rubs it real good, and guess what, y'all? A genie popped right out the lamp. Now the
Damn.
genie pops up, looks at Boudreaux, and he says, "I am the genie of the lamp, and I can grant you one wish." Now old Boudreaux, he thinks, "Well, I ain't gonna be no fool and wish for no dumb old lighter like Thibodeau." So he tells the genie he wants $1,000,000.
Yeah.
Wham! All of a sudden, ducks start falling out the sky. They falling on the P-Road. They falling on the
Oh
bayou.
man.
Buku, ducks everywhere, y'all. Now Boudreaux yells, "Thibodeau, that's the damnedest thing. I wish for $1,000,000. I got 1,000,000 ducks." Thibodeau looked back. "You fool, don't you think I wish for a 12-inch Bic?"
Uh,
Woo!
Yeah, I
Lord
thought
have
that one was
mercy.
funny too, yeah.
That's a good one.
Instead he got a Bic.
Oh, that's a
Got a 12-inch Bic, y'all. All right. Boudreaux and Thibodeau was sitting at the bar one night, and Boudreaux said, "Tib, I am tired of being unemployed. I hear that they're hiring down at that BP oil spill." So the next morning, Boudreaux and Thibodeau went and got in the employment line. And when they got up to the desk, the man asked, said, "What's your name and what you can do?" Boudreaux says, "I'm Boudreaux, and this is Thibodeau, and we is great outdoorsmen. Hunt and we fish for a living." Now, so the man writes their names down on a little piece of paper and tells them to go with the supervisor who will take them to their new job. So now the supervisor and Boudreaux and Thibodeau, they all climb up in this pick 'em up truck and drive down a long swampy road. And at the end is a huge fenced in pen full of pelicans, all covered up in oil, from that BP oil spill.
Oh.
Just horrible, man, covered in oil.
Yeah, that was bad.
Now the supervisor tells Boudreaux and Thibodeau, start cleaning them pelicans. Clean them up real good, and I'll come back in a little while and check on y'all. Now the supervisor come back about 3 hours later, and there's Boudreaux and Thibodeau sitting on a couple of big old coolers and covered with sweat and oil. Boudreaux look at the supervisor and he say, boss, this is hard work, yeah, but we got about 50 of them pelicans gutted, plucked, and in the cooler. After lunch, we're going to go back and get the rest of them.
That's
Y'all, they got fired that very day. They didn't make it. They didn't make it. All right. Who wants to do a few?
I'll go up.
Okay? All right. Let me get out, clear the way. Let's welcome Fiddlah.
Yay!
Yay! Yay! There he is. There he is. Look at him.
Y'all super happy. She's green today.
Huh.
All right.
Hope she's not jealous of anything.
Must be, huh? Green with envy.
Yeah.
All right, Fiddlah. Go.
Give him hell, man.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I can hear you now.
Well, for some reason, I was in dance mode there for a second. You see that? That was funny.
I think that's an ogre outfit.
All right, first I'm going to tell you a true story. I was driving down the road one night. I forget where I was coming from, probably dropping my daughter off or something.
Me too, man.
Because I was in Haverhill, Mass. And I get pulled over by this statey just as I'm about to hit the highway to go north. And so I pulled over to the right, and it was on a bridge, actually, a small one. And just before I could take a left to get on the highway. And the statey walks up to my window, and I roll down the window, and I say, what's wrong, officer? He goes, you did nothing wrong. I said, okay. He goes, I just got to know one thing. I'm like, what? And he says, where in the world did you get that bumper sticker? Yeah, this was like 3 trucks ago. And I'm like, oh, my bumper sticker on the back. You mean the one that says, I got a gun from my wife? It was the best trade I ever made? And he goes, yeah, that one. I told him where I got it, and he goes, thank you very much. Have a great night, sir. Let me go. So that's a true story.
That's a good one, too.
Yeah.
It is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I got some stupid jokes. The perfect crime was committed last night. Someone broke into the police station and stole all the toilets. Police say they have nothing to go on. Officer says, I notice your eyes are bloodshot. Have you been drinking? Driver, I notice your eyes are glazed over. Have you been eating donuts?
Donuts, yeah.
Did you hear the celery got arrested? They charged him with stalking.
Stalks. They do.
Yeah. A man gets pulled over by a statey for speeding, and the officer says to the driver, I've been waiting all day for someone like you. The driver says, well, I got here just as fast as I could. An officer comes across a man who is clearly under the influence. He says to the man, we're going to have to give you a drug test. Without any hesitation, the man replies, cool. Which drugs are we testing? The officer says, when I saw you driving down the road, I guess 55 at least. Driver says, you're wrong, officer. It's only my hat that makes me look that old. What do you call it when a prisoner takes his own mugshot? A selfie. The judge says to this guy, I thought I said I never want to see you here again, ever. The criminal says, that's what I kept on telling the arresting officer, but he wouldn't listen. I asked a rookie cop what he would do if he had to arrest his own mother. He said, I'd call for backup.
I call a SWAT team.
Why did the thief wear blue gloves? He didn't want to get caught red-handed. See, it's stupid. I like this one. An officer observes a woman standing in the middle of the street. He approaches her and says, are you okay? Woman says, yeah, but how do I get to the hospital? The cop says, just keep on standing there. Did you hear about the criminal who stole that expensive lamp? He got a very light sentence. Okay.
That's all right. You're doing great, man.
On what show do police officers solve crimes committed by garden gnomes? On what TV show do police officers solve crimes committed by garden gnomes?
I have no idea.
Law and Order.
Oh, jeez.
That another gnome joke.
An officer pulled me over and said, papers? I said, scissors, I win, and drove off. I guess he wants to rematch because he's followed me for the last 45 minutes.
Oh, that's the fucking best.
Officer says, you know how fast you were going? Driver says, sorry, I was just trying to catch up with traffic. Officer says, there is no traffic. The highway is completely empty. Driver says, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm really far behind. The cop says, how high are you? And the intoxicated driver said, no, officer, it's how high, how are you? There's a man in town who's stealing the wheels off police cars. The police are working tirelessly to catch him. I think I have one last stupid one. How do cops greet people? Policed to meet you.
Oh, boy.
And that's it, folks.
Oh.
Oh,
Thank
my.
you.
Very
Yay.
good. Very good.
Yay.
Thanks, everybody. I told you that was silly.
I think I got one or two more here. Heck, I know I do. I know I do. I know I do. All right. Boudreaux walked out to the dock, where he found a beautiful blonde-haired woman standing there crying. And he said, "Man, Chef, what's wrong with you?" She says, "I don't have anything to live for. I'm going to throw myself into the river and kill myself." Now Boudreaux said, "Oh, no, don't do that. You're a beautiful woman and you have plenty to live for. I tell you what, I'm getting ready to go on this boat and go to Europe. I'll sneak you on and I'll take good care of you and we can be happy together in Europe." So
Yeah.
Boudreaux snuck his stowaway on board, hid her in a lifeboat. For weeks, every day he would take her 3 square meals, making sure she was taken care of. And every day, no, and every night, he would slip into the lifeboat with her and they would make mad, passionate love. Now, one day, the captain discovered the woman and he asked her what she was doing down there.
Uh-oh.
And she answered, "Well, one of your crew members, a wonderful man, has been taking care of me, feeding me, and making love to me, and he gonna take me to Europe with him on this here boat." Captain replied, "Chef, I am so sorry to tell you, but this here be the Chalmette Ferry." Okay, I figured y'all wouldn't know what the hell the Chalmette Ferry is, but it's a ferry that crosses the river in New Orleans every day. It ain't going nowhere near Europe, y'all.
Oh my God. That's the fucking best joke
I guess that was really a blonde joke more than a Boudreaux joke, huh?
That they're the best joke I ever done heard. Lord have
All right,
mercy.
y'all. I want to introduce y'all to Pierre. Now, Pierre went over to Boudreaux's house and saw Boudreaux was working on a jigsaw puzzle. A year later, Pierre again went to visit Boudreaux, and Boudreaux was still working on that same jigsaw puzzle.
Oh.
And yet, another year after that, it's 3 years, y'all. Pierre went over to Boudreaux's to go fishing with him, and Boudreaux come out the house and said, "Man, Pierre, I'm so proud of myself. I finally finished that damn puzzle, and it only took me 3 years." Pierre said, "Man, Boudreaux, I don't think that's something that you should be so proud of. Took you a long time." Boudreaux said, "Man, Mr. Pierre, I think I did pretty damn good when it says right here on the box, jigsaw puzzle, 500 pieces, 6 to 12 years. I've done it in 2, 3.
Oh God. That's fucking great.
I thought I'd throw a new name in there for y'all.
Y'all put that in there. Y'all have mercy. Yeah. No. Damn.
Now, way back when Thibodeau and Clotilde was still courting, they were sitting out on the back porch one evening when Thibodeau spotted one of his bulls doing the big nasty with one of the cows in the pasture. I told y'all this one already, so I'm gonna throw it away.
Tell it again. No.
Oh,
Tell it.
no, tell it
Tell it
again,
again.
Randy.
Tell it
Y'all,
again. Tell
y'all,
it again.
y'all don't remember
Tell
it?
it again. No.
I
No.
remember.
Tell it again.
Tell it
Tell
again.
it.
All right, all right, all
Tell
right.
it again. Tell it again.
All right.
Tell it again.
Now, Thibodeau spotted one of his bulls doing the big nasty with one of the cows out there in that pasture. Now, getting the feeling, Thibodeau, that is, getting the feeling, he started rubbing up on Clotilde. And he says, "I sure like to be doing that with that bull doing to you." Now, Clotilde, Tib, go ahead, go on, do it. After all, it is your cow. I know I messed that one up. You think I told it before? I should have remembered, but I messed up.
Oh Lord, that was fucking awesome.
All right, since we're talking about Thibodeau, and since we're talking about sex, here's another one.
Yes.
Now, Boudreaux and Thibodeau were talking the other day, and Thibodeau told Boudreaux that he had asked Clotilde the night before to have sex. but he wanted to try it a different way. He told her he wanted to try it doggy style. Boudreaux asked, man, that sound like fun. How was it? And Thibodeau replied, oh, it wasn't much. I sat up and begged, and Clotilde rolled over and played dead. Okay, before I go any further, I'm going to ask for open mic.
Oh,
Any
Lord.
volunteers? Anybody got a joke to tell?
That's a Rodney Dangerfield joke right yonder.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why my dog learned how to beg. That's where my dog learned how to beg. Well, if nobody else going to go, I have some stuff I could try to do, but I don't want to get in anybody's way. Not at all.
Ain't nobody else up here. Whose way you gonna get in?
Randy.
All right, come on up here. Big
Randy.
A in for Randy. Big welcome for Randy.
Randy.
Let me get up here, Mr. President. The genie told me I could have dinner with any 5 people from history, living or dead. So I chose Abraham Lincoln, John Dillinger, the Zodiac Killer, Marilyn Monroe, and my dear departed grandfather. The genie said, you could choose 5. I don't get it. Well, Jackie asked John, did you sleep with Marilyn Monroe? And JFK, I had to, Jackie, not because she was easy, because it was hard.
Now I got that one.
Marilyn Monroe suggests to Albert Einstein, if you and I were to marry, our kids would be the smartest and the most beautiful in all the world. And Einstein said, what if they get my looks and your brain? Let's see. Okay. What did JFK say before going to visit Marilyn Monroe in her room? I chose to go to Marilyn's room this night and do the naughty things, not because she is easy, but because I am hard. It kind of is like the other one. It's
Oh yeah, it's a
I
takeoff
do.
from one of his most famous statements.
Yeah, it is true. It's about going to the moon. Yeah. What did JFK?
Do these things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Yes.
Right, exactly. Yeah. What did JFK say after banging Marilyn Monroe? Some men have greatness thrust upon them, and some men thrust upon greatness. I have to work on my JFK. I haven't done him in fucking decades. But that's a good one, though. You got to admit that's a good one. Some men thrust upon greatness. God Almighty, there's not a woman that ever walked the face of the earth that ever fucking looked that good. Never, ever, 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 ever. I just fucking love her. Let's see, where's my thing here? I'm trying to find oh, here it is. 3 nuns were involved in a motor accident. They died and went to heaven. As St. Peter's Gate, they were told it wasn't their time to die. Say they were sent back to earth. As a reward for their good earthly deeds, they will be allowed to go back to Earth as whom they wanted, regardless of timeline. The first nun chose to go as Marilyn Monroe. The second nun chose to go as Mother Teresa. The third nun requested to be returned to Earth as Sarah Pimpinella. St. Peter was confounded. Well, who's that? I've never heard her before. Can you confirm, please? Someone else? Anyone? But the nun insists. St. Peter goes back inside the gate to confirm from his fellow angels, but none have heard the name before. Exasperated, he comes back to the nun and insists no one of such name exists. The nun now angrily brings out a newspaper from her habit and shows him the headlines, which read, Sahara pipeline laid by over 1,000 men.
That's good.
Okay, is everybody over 18? Okay. All right, what's the difference between a radiator, Marilyn Monroe, Melania Trump, and Lee Harvey Oswald? One's a jerk who jacks off. One jerked off Jack. One jacks off a jerk, and one's a jerk who off Jack. It takes a little bit of thinking on that one. I didn't tell it to more. You want a few more?
Yeah, let's do one more, and then I'll do one more, and then we'll wrap it.
Okay. There are many similarities between the JFK and Lincoln assassinations. For example, the night before Lincoln was assassinated, he was in Monroe, Maryland. Well, not many people know this, but the night before JFK was assassinated, he was in Marilyn Monroe.
That was a good one.
That's
All right,
terrible.
big hand for Randy.
Thank you.
I tried my best. Thank you.
You did good. Did good.
Really good.
I'm going to stick to my girly friend here.
All right, I'm going to do one more. I think this is a pretty good one. All right, one morning, Boudreaux pulled up to Thibodeau's house to give him a ride to work. As Thibodeau got into the rusted, beat-up old truck, he noticed Boudreaux's thermos sitting there on a seat between them. What's that? He asked, pointing at the thermos. Oh, that there's a thermos. I got at Walmart last night, said Boudreaux. It keeps hot things hot, and it keeps the cold things cold. Now, come lunchtime, Thibodeau's jaw just dropped down as Boudreaux poured out a steaming hot gumbo from his thermos. Now, the next morning, Thibodeau was beaming with pride as he climbed into Boudreaux's truck and placed his very own thermos down next to Thibodeau's. No, next to Boudreaux's. Anyway, I see you got the thermos for yourself, said Boudreaux. Yup, I sent Marie over to Walmart's to get me one. But guess what? I'm smarter than you. Now Boudreaux said, how you figure that, Thibodeau? And Thibodeau said, you know how you said it keeps the hot things hot and the cold things cold? Well, I got gumbo in mine, and I also threw a popsicle in there for dessert.
That's good.
Y'all,
Oh,
I
boy.
downloaded this one off of a different website,
That's precious.
and this other people got Clotilde and Marie mixed up. So that's why I screwed this one up. I got the names all backwards because they got Marie with Thibodeau. And we all know that Thibodeau and Marie, they only do the nasty, they're not together. Anyway,
Oh.
okay. How could they be so wrong? Anyway, with that, guys, we're going to call it a night. I want to thank
Yay.
everybody for showing up. I want to thank everybody for telling us jokes, making us laugh, having fun with us. And can't wait to see y'all next week.
Awesome.
Yay, everyone.
You know what, Nick? Nick, say something.